Good morning, my friends. I'm Jason, and welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. Today we'll be talking about the guitar, and surprise, surprise. Let me grab this. Thing over here. Good morning, Kevin. I'll be right with you. And good morning. Good morning. Good morning, guitar. You can hear the metronome. It sounds fast today to me. It sounds fast, but it's still at 60. Is that correct? Wow, it sounds quick. But all right. Good morning, Kevin. How was your day yesterday, man? Was it pretty good? Do you have a good one? Yeah. Did you get any guitar playing in? I think today may be a fingerstyle day. So let's go ahead and just check this out. Yes, I'm running behind. I'm running a wee bit behind this morning, and I appreciate your patience. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. So just in case, I know you're here for the metronome, so I'll be sure to place that so we can hear it correctly. Robbie Smith, good morning. Nice. Yeah, right on. I wanted the theme today to be about listening to the guitar, like to actually, how are we at listening to the guitar? Does listening to the guitar, what does it mean to us? So I wanted to think a little bit about today. I want to set my public intention is to just think about the ways in which I might listen to the guitar over the span of my time with it in the morning. Oh, Robbie, yeah, right. How's the Strat build going? I'd love to see some photographs of that. That's a wonderful thing to hear, man. Yeah. Now, are you building it you're building your guitar? We're fortunate to just be able to go to the supermarket, the guitar supermarket, and pick out just the right cut of guitars that we want. And no one ever thinks about all of the effort it takes to go out into the wild and hunt for just the right guitar and all the but you're in the middle of it. You're in the middle of creation. What a great thing to be part of. It's a beautiful thing to birth an instrument, to bring an instrument to playability, whether it's rehabbing, building a kit, cutting the pieces, assembly, finishing. There's so many pieces of the guitar to admire and become intimately involved with. I wanted to talk a little bit about how do I listen to the guitar today. And you'll notice I'm working my fingerstyle, just a little bit of a fingerstyle effort today. tunes in there that just don't play enough, you know what I mean? Getting ideas, Facebook find of an old. All right, let's go ahead and just double check the tuning. I see we have a bit of a posse here ready to roll. So let's go ahead and roll it. I'm still fasting for these in the mornings. I do not eat before this happens in the mornings. I do not consume food before these guitar rituals, so that I can stay in the fasting frame of mind. I do bring a cup of tea down, and today my tea is it's a ginger, turmeric, black pepper tea, and I hope to enjoy that thoroughly. Good morning, Jill. Good morning. Good morning, Sky. Good morning. Good morning, Kilisavo. Good morning. Oh, Django Jazz. Today we're talking fingerstyle. So I like to alternate between pick studies and fingerstyle studies, and that way I can kind of keep an eye on, my techniques. I very much adore fingerstyle guitar, so we'll go ahead and just work that in when we can. So let's go ahead and Mark, good morning. Good morning. Django's, what a great guitar player, one of the greats, absolutely. You might love John Jorgensen does a record. It's a white record with some line work on it. John Jorgensen, what a great. Let me think of the name of the record. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Actually, let me just do that now because I'll forget it. I'll forget to come back to it. But John Jorgensen, you won't regret it. The record is called, it's the album is called Ultra Spontane. Ultra Spontane. It's the John Jorgensen Quintet, and you are just going to flip your lid. I'll tell you what. Let me see if I can get a cover of the album here. Here's the cover of the album for you. That's what it looks like, and you're gonna love it. Ultra Spontane. I learned a bunch of tunes on that record a long time ago, and we hung out together a little bit a while ago, I guess, or whatever. But it's a really great album. You're gonna love it. You'll blow your mind if you're into Django and you're into the gypsy jazz movement. Just give it a listen. Let me know what you think. But if you're just tuning in, we're getting started. We're going to start with a fingerstyle warm-up. If you have a pick today, that's okay. It's actually more than okay. You could use your pick to use this alternate picking sequence. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then we can, I think my grandkids were in the studio yesterday. Maybe they tweaked out the metronome. It's supposed to be 60 beats per minute, but it's all wore out. I can't see it. I'm going to have to recalibrate it now. We may actually be going faster than 60 this morning. So if it feels quick, it probably is quick. It's not, it's not too awful bad, but let's go ahead and do it. 1 E and a 2, fingers 3 and 4 on 10 and 12. And I'm just using the index and middle fingers. If you want, you can start with 1 and 2, 2 attacks per beat. You know, this is a pretty lively tempo, and you can feel free to play whatever it is you want in tandem with what I'm doing over here. As long as you're working your way through the exercise, it doesn't matter if you're working 4 attacks per beat or 3 attacks per beat or 2.5 beats, 2.5 attacks per beat, or whatever, or 2 square attacks, or whatever. But I'm going to use 4 attacks per beat, and we'll get it done. I'm going to also include my ring finger on my picking hand. So I'm using a pattern on my picking hand of ring middle index or index middle ring, depending on what I need to work on at the moment. Let me know what you think of that John Jorgensen record. I'm really curious to see if you stick around, be sure to grab your guitar, because this is a morning ritual for guitar growth that's intended to build up the spirit and the mind of the player of the guitar, as well as deepen our relationship with the guitar. And today, my intention, my morning ritual for guitar growth intention is, how do I listen to the guitar? And then I listen to the guitar I feel like if I really listen to the guitar, it causes me to change my approach to the guitar. It causes me to change the way my fingers attack the string. There's that word again, attack. I'm not sure I really like that terminology, but it is industry standard terminology. So we're going to attack the strings with our fingernails. In my case, you can see my fingernails are shaped like little ramps. It's like if this was the string, was going to sort of like roll off the end of this and be flung into action, similar to the way a string might roll off the edge of the pick, right? So you can see that my fingernails are sort of like imitating the shape of the pick. Some fingerstyle players like Mr. Matteo Mancuso will have round fingernails, and then and whatever works for you, it's a very individual approach. Good morning, Mr. Guitar, for everyone. Good morning. Gypsy Jazz Quartet, Nature Boy. Oh yeah, we'll check it out. Thanks for the reference. Very cool. It's been a hot minute since I've dabbled in the ways of the gypsy guitar. I remember coming through, I think it was, I heard about Django before music school, but then I for some reason I really picked up on him in university, and maybe it was the listening labs. We used to have to go to the listening labs and go to the library to hear music, right? We didn't have that all access pass on our mobile phones in those days. But listening to the guitar, I wanted to focus a little bit more on my breathing here, and my posture, and listening to the guitar. And smiling. Do you have those internal smiles going? Do you encourage yourself to smile? If you realize you're not smiling and you say, oh, dude or girl, hey, smile a little bit, it really makes a difference. It really builds the quality of our sounds. We can build the quality of our sound and the thought process behind our sound by simply smiling. It doesn't matter if we're Shred, if we're Alex Skolnick, or Joe Pass, or Pizzarelli, Sage, Lage. Doesn't matter if we're Bob Dylan. The tone is there. if we smile, it really just changes things. So, simple things. I want to start with a low-hanging fruit. So fingers 2 and 4 on 9 and 12. Yeah, and this time we're still working the realm of 2-finger guitar. So we are in the world of gypsy jazz. So let's, imagine we are Django and we only have 2 fingers. And I love that reference. I love that you made that reference early on. Glissabo. Yeah, I love that reference. Very cool. Kevin T. Riley, Senior, good morning. Good morning. We've got a cup of tea going here. We'll break that out in about 6 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. We'll take a break, we'll take a breather, and we'll start stretching our limbs, refreshing our minds, getting ready to go to the next step. Right now we're warming up inside the warm-up. So we're doing these 2-finger groups. So fingers 1 and 3 on 9 and 12. Here we go. Yeah, without delay, without dilly-dally. We're really focusing on, let's see what happens if I really focus on talking a little bit less and listening to my guitar. What happens? Focusing on the breath is principle, but let's listen to the guitar and focus on the breath. All of these really cool harmonics, like sympathetic harmonics ringing on the guitar, and that's a really fun thing to experience. It's like that sort of like the voice of the instrument is sort of ringing behind you and lifting you up and supporting you. So when you really start listening to the guitar, I'm not sure if you've ever done this. I'm going to jump out on a limb here. I'm moving away from the tree trunk, walking out onto the branch to bring you this message. And the branch may start breaking away under my feet, in which situation I'll find myself running back to the tree trunk before complete catastrophic failure. But the message here is, have you ever stopped to listen to one string ring? I'm choking off all of the other strings, and all I'm going to do is learn about the dynamic range of my guitar, see how long it goes, see how long the string will last before it decays out of existence, at least for my ears. And then while I'm doing that, if I do that enough and I practice listening hard enough, I'm going to hear multiple notes in that one string. We'll hear, of course, the fundamental first, and then we start to hear the overtones or the nodes become active in the string vibration. Let's give it one solid listen. This might take 30 seconds. And now I can no longer hear it. So I would have to repeat. If I wanted to hear the note again, I would have to re-attack. And then where I attack the string really changes its fundamental. It changes the overtone. Now let's do the same, let's apply the same idea while not muting or choking any other strings. So this is where the guitar really starts to say, hey, I'm here, I'm awake. Use the open strings and I'll help support you. Let's listen to the overtones and what happens to the same approach, one note played long. You'll notice there are other strings involved. I'm going to turn off the metronome for this one. I know you're here for the metronome and I know you hate to hear it turned off, but don't worry, it'll come right back. Deadly Kitten, good morning. Jason and chat, good morning. Good morning. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Jay. Oh, hey, that is so cool. I definitely appreciate this. Thank you so much. Thank you kindly. Here we go. One quick strum, one quick pluck, strings all open wide. Listening hard. Doing it one more time. We're listening really hard here, just focusing on only the sound. Don't focus on whether or not the viewership is dropping off. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Just focus on the sound of the guitar and the overtones that you may or may not be able to hear at this point. Still there. Now it's gone. And here's another one. Now here's what happens when I play the string, stop it, you can still hear that. You can still hear those other tones ringing. So those sympathetic tones are super important, and you can get really good at finding places on your fretboard that activate those sympathetic areas on your guitar. So I think you'll enjoy that. Yeah. Chicken. Good morning, Chicken. Marco, good morning. Let's go ahead and jump back into fingers 1 and 4 on frets 7 and 12. 1 E and a 2, D E and a 4. Go. And we're using fingers this morning, but if you have a pick and you'd want to use down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, you go ahead and do that. It's essentially the same thing that I'm doing here, that we're doing here. But I thought, if just in case you wanted to start working on fingerstyle guitar, I just thought maybe it's worth checking it out. I saw Mr. Fish, I saw Michael here. Good morning. Leroy Brown. Good morning. Ori. It's funny you mentioned that. It is so funny you mentioned that, dude. Are you serious? I was thinking about that this morning, about, you know how listening to the guitar is, this is my sentiment this morning, exactly. It's about this morning's sentiment, or this morning's sort of like prayer, is learning how to listen to my guitar and listening to it all the time. And for some reason, the thing that came up in my mind this morning, it popped like this. I thought I was going to start fingerstyle this morning, and Leroy, I can't believe you said Bori. You're talking about the E minor, right? And I thought the same thing. Right, I thought the same thing this morning. I thought, what better way to learn how to really listen to the guitar, but to offer a counterpoint, right? So we have to listen to both lines at the same time. That is so, whatever you call that, I forget the word for it. It's like we're transcending space and time now, and we've got like, parity, atomic parity or whatever, particulate parity between the two of us, I think. Just great, just great. So it's just this really nice, so you can hear the the melody starts in counter motion, right? So you hear this melody going up, ascending from the high E string to the 2nd fret F sharp to the G note. And at the same time, you hear the low string starting from the G note, the low E, to the F sharp, to the E. So at the same time we descending down to the E, we're ascending up away from the E to the G note. it's a really great exercise. So thank you for bringing that up. Let's go ahead and get a stretch in here. So we're starting with just a straight elbow, and we're stretching these limbs. I'm Jason. In case you're just tuning in, you caught me in the middle of my morning ritual for guitar growth. I would encourage you, if you're a guitar practitioner, grab your guitar and join us. The live chat's banging, and we're focusing in the live chat. We're focusing on guitar warm-up stuff. We're focusing on just growing as guitar players. So if you have questions about warm-up or specific questions about what's going on here, this is a great time to approach that. Now let's go ahead and do 4 bars down in this stretch. We're renewing our body right now. We're renewing our bodies, our minds. And then 4, 2, 3, 4, and then we switch. 2, 3, 4, measure 2, 2, 3, measure 3, 2, 3, 4, measure 4, 2, 2, 4. Good. Is playing the guitar just your hobby, or is this something you do for a living? Okay, hey, that's a great question. What if you were to look at me and guess? What would you guess? What would you guess? Would you venture a guess? Oh, Leroy Brown. Wow, you were just dinging all the bells this morning. Let's see if I remember it. I think it's in there, yeah. A little messy. It's in there. I think, it's a great way to learn how to listen to your guitar, because it's interesting to learn how to play, and the interesting things are fun to listen to, and so then we deepen our relationship and engagement with the guitar. So great questions and great commentary. Wonderful insights here. So thanks. Let's go ahead and jump back into fingers 2, 3, and 4. We're going to head back into the warm-ups, and we'll just hammer on this. Fingers 2, 3, and 4 on 10, 11, and 12, and we're using now the 3-finger groups. We're running a little behind the scene, a little behind the time for today for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm a little behind today to begin with. I think I ran a little late this morning, which I don't usually do, but that's okay. And it's only guitar after all. So if you're here and you're with the guitar and you're finding that this is too fast or too slow for you, that it's not just right, you can always play eighth notes, you can play quarter notes or one attack per beat. So you hear the click in the background, just 2 attacks per beat are great. And I'm using index middle on my right hand, or sometimes I'm using ring, index middle. And working on short tones is an essential skill to work through and manage. To answer the question about whether I'm a professional guitar player or a hobbyist, I think it depends on the day. I think most of the time I want it to feel like it's a hobby. I want it to feel like I'm not using the guitar, this art form as a source for income. But truth be told, I do make a living doing this, and it is my bread and butter. It's what I do. It's what I've been doing for a longer time than I'm going to admit here in this video, but it is a fruitful life. It is a fruitful life, and it is a life to be thankful for. That's for sure. So I thank all of the stars and all of the Lord. I thank the Lord above. So fingers 1 and 2 and 3 on 10, 11, and 12. Let's do it. That's right. It's so fun to just watch the picking hand, to feel the picking hand come to life, you know, over time. And one day it feels like the bike's going to wiggle and wobble and fall out and fold up and right underneath you, and you're going to eat a handlebar right in the belly or something. And then the next thing you know, without announcement, you're like, oh, this is what it feels like to have a stable approach to the picking hand. Yeah, it really does just happen overnight. And then one day you're like, well, this isn't good enough. I need to get better. And well, it's that's a trap that we all fall into. We do want to be joyful and content with what we do have when we do have it, because it's all part of the grand illusion, I guess, that we have anything at all. Fingers 1 and 3 and 4. Now we've moved through fingers 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 2 and 3, 1 and 2. We've moved through fingers 2, 3, and 4. Well, actually we did, before we moved away from the 2 finger groups, we did these, and then we did these, and then we did this today. Now we've done this, we're doing this, we've done that. Now we're doing this 3 finger group, and then we'll do this 3 finger group. Cool? Let's do it. 1 E and a 2 T E and a 4 E and a 1, 3, 4 on frets 9, 11, and 12. And we'll go ahead and keep doing it. Roy Clark. Oh, very cool. Oh, very cool. I see that. Shane, thanks for asking that. Shane, that's a great question. My favorite guitar player, I think my favorite guitar player would have to be, I think Slash influenced me pretty heavily early on, but I think the one that really just sort of opened my mind to the guitar, there were phases, there were stages. I think the first time I heard a friend of mine, Mr. Hall, talk to me about Pat Metheny, and then the very first time I heard Pat Metheny, I think, was in high school. Before that, and I didn't really know what to do with Pat Metheny the first time I heard it. I thought, well, Tim told me to listen to it, and you know, he was a guitar mentor at the time, and I decided I better listen, even if I don't get it. So I listened until I got it, and that's really a nice thing to think about. The more we listen, and this dovetails nicely with what I'm trying to do today, is listen to my guitar. Fingers 1 and 2 and 4 on 9, 10, and 12. The listening and repeated listening really opened the door for me, and so this is a testimony to how important it is to listen, and the listening is good. Happy picking, everybody. Hey, later, Mark. Thanks for popping in, man. We'll see you again soon. You have a wonderful day. Have a super day, you know, like a blessed day. Yeah, and then so the favorite guitar player, I'm not really sure how to answer that. There are so many good ones, but the one that sort of dinged all the bells and whistles for me early on was when Steve Vai's Passion and Warfare record came out. I remember having my hands on Steve Vai's Flexible album early on, and I thought, what in the heck is going on here? So that was after I listened to Joe Satriani's Surfing with the Alien. So Surfing with the Alien was another, you know, something like that. I remember those being really expressive moments on the guitar, and I realized, like, through melody what you could actually accomplish on guitar. So Joe Satriani, Satch, sort of opened up my ears, I think. And let's go ahead and do fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're starting with 9, 10, 11, and 12. Just the same thing we've been working. And just getting through this morning ritual for guitar growth. I remember hearing, so I was already sort of like awake to what the melody could do and to what the guitar, the electric guitar could do. And I thought, well, I know I need to sort of become this is sort of an Olympic event. So I decided I wanted to start practicing a lot. And then I heard, you know, I was sort of getting ready for Passion and Warfare, that record, to drop. And I had no idea of all of the previous works that had been, you know, done by Steve Vai, other than, you know, Flexible. That record, I learned a lot of those pieces and a lot of those guitar pieces on that record. But when Passion and Warfare came out, and you opened with the song Liberty, and then you get a sense for like the depth of what the guitar is actually capable of. You get a sense for like what you could actually do with some skill and some knowledge and some spirit and some talent. And that was the first moment that really opened my eyes, I guess. Passion and Warfare was the one. Funny how that was a watershed moment for me personally, and I think for many others, you know, it just hit really hard. Yeah, yep, it certainly did. All right, so fingers 1, 2, 3, stretch 4. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 T E. Oh, we've got some India in the house. Yeah, right on. Are we doing some? Let's see, almost forgot. Oh, like, share, subscribe. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Shane. Yeah. Steve Vai, G strings. 6 strings just ain't enough for chat for that cat. That's funny. Yeah. What a great question though. I never would have thought of that. Jason, man, been here for all the streams, bro. Hey, Dusty Cake, have you really? Oh, stop ruining his chat. That's great, dude. Thanks for stepping in, and you got an amazing channel. Wow, Dusty, that's pretty cool. I really appreciate hearing that. That really it kind of hitting home. You know, I appreciate it. Kind of taking a walk down memory lane. Let's do the 4th finger stretch. 9, 10, 11, and instead of 12, we'll do 13. Let's go ahead and do the 4th finger stretchy. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? I mean, we're here warming up, and it's all about warm up. Hopefully the vanity is out the window. If I talk, I realize when I talk, and it sometimes can come from a place of ego. And I've hiked hundreds of miles with a friend of mine. He calls himself Mountain Lifer. And hundreds of miles, and he's an old Marine, and, you know, an old, super warrior kind of guy. And we both talk about shedding the ego for hundreds of miles. You know, hundreds of miles. We focus on 2 things. shedding ego and, observing. And the good things in life, we both we're Jesus followers, and I don't know what that means to anybody else, but shedding the ego is, I don't know if it's the most important, it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that as we move together through these warm-ups, let me put it this way, it's not a me thing. I'm doing this for me, there's no doubt about it, but I also realize at the same time, it takes a model, it takes repetition, it takes understanding like what actually all goes on behind the scenes is never glorified, and it's never sort of sanctified. It's never sort of it's basically objectively blackballed. And we don't talk about the practice. Sometimes we'll talk about the practice times that we we'll share what we've been working on, the hours that we've spent with our friends and family. But it doesn't mean the same thing. So I try to remember to we're doing the kickstand. This is for Jill. This is for all of us, but really, we got this kickstand. She's the only other one I ever saw mention the kickstand. It was one day the stream failed, and I was able to still monitor what was going on, but there was no video feed. And they all asked, the live chat was still going. And what happened to Jason? I think I was traveling, and I could see it all, but I just wasn't broadcasting. For some reason, the video was stuck. And Jill said, I think we're at the point in this warm-up sequence where we're doing the kickstand. And this kickstand is just it's going to stick around, I think. It's the first finger stretch, and what we try to do here is place the thumb. It's a really nasty grip for my hand, for my fret hand. And it really does torture my hand a little bit. But the more I do it, the more I stretch after this, the more ready my limbs become. And so the more repetition, the better. So I just try to relate this to something that's, let's say you're speaking with a teacher, like how do you relate to your students? Anecdotally, or whatever. So I think it's important to not to justify your own work, but Pam from Michigan State was telling me once that, once you finish music school, you're going to be in a situation where you always have to justify your position. And I thought, well, there's only one person I need to justify my position to, and that's not the administration of a school board or anything like that. It's not that. Although, if I was being paid by a school board or at the whim of the governor or whatever, we'd have to be in alignment for a period of time. But the idea is that this warm-up sequence happens outside of the performance bubble. So we're at a place where we don't really need to justify our abilities at all to any other musician or any other person except for us. The only person that we need to compete with is ourselves, right? Am I 6% better this month than I was last month? And what does better mean? Did I eat less peanut butter on my toast, or what does better mean? What are my goals? So my goal is to reach the end of this year doing this live stream and successfully adjudicate, successfully review the very first video I did this year in 2025 and compare that with the very last video I do if I make it, good Lord willing. And the very last video of 2025. and see what exactly does 260 hours of warm-up time do for a person, you know? Because if I can receive growth from 260 hours of warm-up period, I mean, you look at me and you're like, well, dude, if this dude can play guitar, I can play guitar. And that's just the way I look at it. If another human being can invent Apple, if I wanted to, you know, I just have to have that mindset all the time that if I really want to do something, I'm going to figure out how to do it. And it's that simple, and I'm going to do it come heck or high water. The pain is going to be great, but the pain is going to be the suffering, what is it, salvation through suffering, all right? So that's kind of what I'm looking for, is just the amount of growth that we move from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and then compare those two videos and see what kind of growth happened, what changed, and does my playing look any better? Does it feel any better? Does it flow more? Am I a better listener? So all of those things really make a difference to me. And since we've already gone through basically all of the warm-ups that we, you know, need without doing any of the, you know, diatonic stuff. We can go ahead and maybe we have 10 minutes left. Maybe what we can do, just work that pentatonic palace a little bit. So we're using 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. Let's do this one time, this one pattern. We won't go through the entire pentatonic sequence, but we'll go ahead and start with transitioning away from the warm-up period to our practice period and the last few minutes. So stick around. I think we've got a really cool, like, fingerstyle exercise coming. I feel like something really cool is coming, so you want to be here for that. So let's just get through this pentatonic. We could pluck each note, or we could pluck one note and then pull off to the next note. So let's go ahead and start with hammering on and then pulling off. El Hobby, Jimi Hendrix Castle made of sand, yeah. Yes. Amistad, can you sing Nadinia song? I don't know those songs. Which song? Do you have a specific song? You've got my curiosity piqued now. Oh, Robbie, I follow. I remember that you were in the back of the car. Oh, Sky remembers that moment too. Yeah, good. Dude, this is like amazing. Like, this is actually happening on the internet. And it's not like I'm worried about the end of the world or the end, you know, it's just, it's such a relief for me to be here and just be simple part of a solution. And it's a great honor to do that. And I know if you're here, you're a torchbearer in your own community. Okay, Nadania is the name of the song. All right, so Nadania. I have to admit, you've stumped the band. I'm going to have to look that up. But allow me some time and come back and definitely check in with me again, because I think if you're asking about that, it's probably worth it for me to look at. I follow Robbie. I love that. I follow Christ as well. It's wonderful when, yeah, it's essential for me, you know. It's a little messy, but it's in there. So once you start just repeating those things, you can start becoming technical and speed up the approach. But for now, let's spend the last 8 minutes, these last high value minutes, these last value moments, focusing on listening to the guitar and what can we accomplish with a fingerstyle approach that would be interesting for us today. So we've been talking about harmonics, so let's go ahead and stick with that idea. We're talking about, you know, the harmonics and overtones that sympathetically ring with the guitar. And I'd like to continue thinking about how the guitar sort of can support us. So we have 3 really great nodes available. Adini is the name of the song. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You're welcome. So let's take a look at something that we know, right? We have The Wind Cries Mary, we have House of Rising Sun, Tommy Emmanuel, Deep River Blues. Oh man. Is this it? Let me get it dialed into 16, 60 beats per minute. It's a little faster than the song really needs to be played, but I just realized it's not Deep River Blues, it's Moody River Blues or something. Moody River, oh, it's Moody River. So yeah, I'm tripping on the wrong song. Sorry, buddy, but let's go ahead and start with this. I guess this gives us 7 and 5. I think we're gonna have to slow it down. What I need to do is just kind of get on that root note, so we're playing the G like this, right? So we have that 3rd fret on the low E string. And that's it, just banging that thing out. And then we have stick with me just for a moment. This is all going to go somewhere really cool, I think. So we're starting with, we're going to hook that middle finger around to fret number 4 on the G string. There we go. And we can play those 2 notes together, thumb and index, right? Or we could just do. Oh yeah, beat it. That's oh man, you're talking the classics now. Yeah. Playing the rest of the G up here in G6 with the open high E string here. So this is it's been a while. It's been a spell, you know, but really great really great songs, you know, that you can. If you want tablature of that, maybe I just do a full tutorial on that tune. And I know it's not probably, you know, highly sought after, but there is a lot. There's a lot of great finger picking technique in there that really needs to be discovered by some of us, you know. And then it really kind of like opens up like how we play melody and chords underneath or on the top of a bass line that's sort of ostinato or repeating, right? But the thing that I really wanted to cover today about listening to the guitar is, but I don't know the basic, oh yes, the basic Anne's thought. Oh, Robbie, have a good morning, man. Have a super morning. Stephen Stills, singing call, I hear it every day on my way home. Stephen Stills, singing call. Yeah, there are a lot of great tunes in that, from that era, those writers, right? But I'm getting ready to jump today, and I think it's about time you do too, and get on with your own guitar playing, and hopefully have a wonderful day doing your thing. But here's what happens when I just listen to the guitar. I'm just going to stop my morning ritual for guitar growth. That's done. Thank you for being here. If you need to jump, I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Maybe we can meet up again. I'm just going to work on what happens if I just sit back and listen to my guitar without any preconceptions. And this is a great warm-up exercise, post-warm-up exercise. I'm just going to pick a note and then see where it leads me. Oh, it's the open B string. And then the next powerful note, I want the octave above that. Na, 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 na. And you can start telling like where I'm actually listening and then where I'm letting my ego drive. Because as soon as I let my ego drive, the improvisation sort of fails, right? So it's really important to me to sort of abandon the ego. And part of this morning ritual for guitar growth is to do that. Yeah, and at the same time, maybe help my friends to do that. You know, at my own risk. So I think that's about it for today. Yeah, just having some fun, okay? And it's not, I would recommend if you're starting to play the guitar and you want to play the guitar, grab yourself a reasonably inexpensive guitar, whatever your budget is, whatever you can afford. Get the guitar in your hands, bring it to your house, get it tuned up, get it set up, whatever you can afford to do. And I would just say, Shane, welcome to the channel, man. Welcome. I really appreciate you being here. And did I see Kevin jumped and I missed Kevin go. I'm sorry to say Kevin is one of our moderators and he's just a wonderful, wonderful bloke. He's been here from the beginning. If you have a guitar, get your guitar, bring your guitar here and start practicing and warming. This is a warm up. So you can warm up with me in the mornings. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, and if you want, you can be here. It's free for the entire year of 2025, and maybe we'll see you again tomorrow. So with that, I wish you all happy picking.